Okay, we're going to do a two-part video here on panhead identification. I've got 26 heads sitting here, all cleaned up. So these are the 48 to 56 heads here, and then those ones are going to be the late 57 up head, which is the later 56 casting. Alright, so here we go with our 48 heads down here. So these come in three variations, and they used them in 48 and 49. So, light on here. So basically what they did was, Harley had a bunch of oiling problems. So the way they addressed it was they started blocking the oil going down through the head. So this head's supposed to be an angle like this on the bike. So they're blocking that there. So I don't know if they've got too much oil or they don't have enough oil. By putting a dam right here, it's probably not enough oil to the intake guide, causing problems. But for whatever the reason was, they put a spacer in here and tried to stop it. So you can see how the head is made here, and they drill and tap that, and they put that spacer in there. That's just a cam cover screw right there. It's about that long. So that's what they did. That dammed it up. So this is your early head, this is your late head, and then the later head, the third style head, it actually has a casted in dammed at an angle right here. They casted a wall and blocked it. So I don't have any samples of that head here, but I've seen them. So anyway, that's what they did. So these are plumber style heads, which means you have screw-on intake manifolds. This has got an O-ring conversion welded into it, which is a modification, obviously. This is your stock early rocker arm here. They're cut like this. They only hit right here on the side. The rocker geometry is so bad on these that they had to cut the top of the arm away to keep from scrubbing across the valve stem and digging into it. So that's what they did. Valve geometry is horrible on panheads, and the aftermarket rocker arms are horrible, maybe more horrible. So this is your early bronze upper cover. The later ones went to a brass, they're more yellowish. So this is actually a bronze material here. Somewhere in the mid-50s they went to the other style, which I don't have a sample of right here, but that's what they did. So these are basically the casting dates that I see on my over here on the back side. The numbers are all right here. So there's your 48 casting, your mold. That's what the mold is you made it from. And it's a rear head, obviously. And then this here is your date thing up in here. I never believe when people say how to read that, but take it for what you want. I don't care. You guys figure it out. Now this one here has a 9. That might have a 1-9 in there. And this one over here has got an 11 before here. And then the 9. Nope, that has an 11 way in there too. Okay, same thing, way down in there. Okay, so anyway, that's the same. But the dates up here change. Like I said, I don't believe... I've seen too many things that I know are wrong that had codes that said people were, that's how you read them, but whatever. I don't think anybody alive knows what they're doing. So basically this is the stock head here with the rivet in there that holds it in. And that looks like, never seen that style of a head in there before, but it's small diameter, so it kind of looks like it might have been stock, but I've never seen that before like that. I see no extra holes in the ring, so, and this port is stock, never been modified, so that might be original. I don't know. So I've never seen a flat head before like that. I've always seen this style over here. That's a stock rivet, inside and outside. I have no idea how to duplicate that. I have yet to figure out a way of doing that. So it looks like it's more or less stock on the inside. You have to get the same type rivet head on the inside. A little bit bigger looking and not quite in there all the way. You see the gap in there. Oh yeah, it's definitely pulling. So my guess is this rivet is someone's trying to knock it out, and they're beating on it trying to shove it out, because it's definitely not in there all the way. You can see how it's not in there. See the gap in there? So I think somebody's been screwing with that one. This one here, you see it's in there flush like it's supposed to be. So I think they had this flat head like this, and they put an air hammer on it and beat it down flush, and it quit moving because it didn't want to move. So they stopped. So that means that's been screwed up. Means it might leak, who knows. So anyway, these things have been modified a lot. The exhaust spigots are broken off on this one, obviously. Got fin damage where someone's been kind of abusing things. The seats have been cut pretty far in there. They undercut the piss out of it, put a big lip in there, which kills power. So these are 1 3/4 on both sides, stock. So these are small fin heads because they have real small fins on them. This one here has more of an exhaust spigot still on it, which is actually pretty good for that one, but it's worn heavily. This one looks like it has a seat put in it. This one's been cut out, and you can see how the original seat is casted in. So it's inside the head, inside the aluminum. So when you go to cut them out, you're going to find that lip in there. And when you cut too deep, you cut the bottom of the port out over here. Up under there gets cut out. Now obviously this head is pretty damn thick, because usually by now you got daylight underneath your seat over here, and it's still got a pretty good lip on it. So they're obviously a lot thicker through here than later heads. So that means that port's way high up in there, so it's almost halfway up the intake nipple size, the height of this dam right here. So that's another change I didn't know about. So we go way on down here. That was what head? That was a front head. There's a front head right here. And you can see how thin that is up under there, and how much bigger that port is. Now that's been ported on too, so that's some of it, but we have an unmodified head around here. This is a stock head here. And you can see it's fairly thick looking also. But it's common for those to be broken out on the other side when they put seats in there. So that one's been ported on. That's a conversion. Alright, so there you go. There's some changes in there. Let's see, this is a stock head too. Very thick. Okay. Well, anyway, there's changes here and there. The shape of the valve bowl in here changes. These early heads are more thicker through there. The heads themselves are a little bit thinner, so they crack more. So the first 2 years here, they're pretty known for cracking. They're also known for these stars here to be pulling up. See, that one's pulled up, sticks up. These are casted in, so they pull up on you. So that's more of a problem. These are also square cut right here. They're not chamfered, which means they tend to not be as tight as they should be. So anyway, this has a weld-in O-ring conversion. They also have screw-in conversions, which was over here. So that's a screw-in one. And so, but stock is these threaded ones. Alright, so that's basically your first generation of heads. So, nail did that. These all should be a number 10 24 threads through here. This has been helicoil obviously here. That's been stripped out. That one's stripped out. These are stripped out helicoil. They're 1/4 inch strip out, they're big. So, and these are supposed to be flush all the way across here, not loose. So they're supposed to be flat. That means that's worn away. Spark plugs are short reach and they have an insert in there. That's stock. And they're buried in there pretty far in the hole. Alright, so that's your first gen head. Okay, then you move into the 50 castings.